So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Can you hear me now? Well, good. Hey, what's up? It's your girl LaTangela, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me for another episode of the LaTangela Show, where we'll chat about this and we'll chat about that. I am the queen of random research, the did you know, news brief, and even got the inside scoop for you. You know, if I read it, I gotta tell it, and I might as well tell it to you, right? Right. Now, you know, throughout the week, there's so many different ways for us to stay connected, and I want you to join me. All of my links are posted at latangela.com, and you know, I'm the voice inside your speaker box, Monday through Fridays with Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip-hop and R&B, Max 94.1, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Wednesday nights, it's Wednesday Night Movies. I serve as your official host for the Louisiana Film Channel. I am loving it. Grab the popcorn as we are highlighting Louisiana filmmakers, the arts, and the stories behind the stories. Yeah, join me for that. And you already know that NMO1 Radio, I appreciate you so much for assisting me in getting the word out. The LaTangela Show on television, radio, podcast. Let's click the links. Let's get connected. Let's stay informed. LaTangela.com. Now, you know, with COVID, all things COVID, we're still in phase 3 in our state. What does that look like for you? I was talking to a couple of my friends in different states, and it's looking different. You know, we're still wearing our face coverings, our mask. We're still practicing social distancing. Maybe not as much as we did 3 months ago, but it's still top of mind, right? It's a little more lax when we go out these days, probably. But it's still important that we do practice social distancing. It is important that we stay on top of it, especially with everything else that's going on. Day to day, it's just a lot. But stay on top of it. Look out for your family members. Look out for your loved ones. Look out for your neighbors. And you know, for the month of October, we raised a lot of awareness, from breast cancer awareness to domestic violence awareness to lupus awareness. And you know, it's one of those things to where we're encouraging others to let their voices be heard, to share their stories. We're inviting that, and we're informing and educating each other. 'Tis the season to let our voices be heard through our vote. Did you participate with early voting? I was there first day. The line wasn't so bad that evening. You know, had to get it done. And now we're looking forward to seeing you at the polls. Make sure that you make your way to the polls and let your voices be heard through your vote. I cannot encourage you to do that enough. We talked about the voter registration. We talked about completing the census. Well, now we need to finish the task. Show up at the polls and let your voices be heard through your vote. Simple. You know, when I was digging deep this week for some of this random research, Halloween is coming up. There's not a store you can walk in that won't show you Halloween candy on one side and Christmas trees on the other. So I wanted to dig deep. Google, that seems to know everything about everything we do or think about or shop for, has come through for me yet again. Google said, look, I know the top 10 of the most searched Halloween costumes this year. Let's see if they got this right. Now, this isn't just for the kids. I'm looking out for you too. It's late night. We're talking about it. So coming in at number 10, Spider-Man. Number 9, there's a ninja that will be seen on your block. The devil will never lose his staying power as long as he keeps that pitchfork. Also making the top 10 is Fortnite. Now, I'm not exactly sure what type of costume would be involved with Fortnite, but I'm not familiar with the video game. And I'm probably the only American that's not familiar with Fortnite, so forgive me if I sound a bit off. An angel. What? You want to go as me for Halloween? How sweet. Yeah. A clown. Some of you don't need the costume. A rabbit. A rabbit was also on the top 10 list. Harley Quinn made it. A dinosaur. I didn't see that coming. I just didn't. But okay. And coming in at number 1, without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, is what? A witch. According to Google, people wanting to be a witch for Halloween is the #1 most searched and Googled for costume. Yeah, I guess. Now, a few random facts for you, according to Wikipedia, NPR, and Fordham, as well as USA Today, because I like random facts. Chances are you won't be able to use it anywhere else, but if I read it, I gotta tell it, and I liked it. Now, this is one of the things that I did not know, but now that I do know, I feel smarter. The used car chain CarMax. Are you familiar with them? Yeah? Okay. So CarMax was created by Circuit City in 1991. Do you remember Circuit City? Oh, okay. Well, they split it off into a second company in 2002. And it's still going strong, while Circuit City is just one of those things that died in 2009. And, you know, we wish them well. But CarMax is still on and popping, and if you need a ride, I'm pretty sure they can help you zoom through the city. Now, also with the random did you knows, did you know there's enough cash in circulation in the United States that every single person in the country could carry at least $4,200 on them? I did not know that. But now that I do know that, sending me a check should not be that hard. Dear US, let your girl hold at least $4,200, since I know you got it floating around in circulation. Is that too much to ask for? Wait, okay, did you know that McDonald's sells 75 hamburgers every second? Now, I've seen on the advertisements, they say, you know, we serve 1 billion smiles a day. I guess so, if you're serving 75 hamburgers every second. That's a lot. And you know, most of their branches are open 24 hours. Now, this one is something that just struck me as odd. But the Slurpee capital of the world. Is there such a thing? Yes. Okay, well, the Slurpee capital of the world for the past 20 years, that's 2 decades in a row, has been Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Their 7-Elevens have the highest sales of Slurpees per store. 7-Eleven is winning. Do we still have 7-Elevens? I don't know. Last time I saw a 7-Eleven, I think I was in New York. And I think that was years ago. Do you have a 7-Eleven? Is there an app for that? See, now I need to go look. Hold on. Okay, so you know there's an app for that. As there's an app for everything, I had to do some research of my own. 7-Elevens, like, who thinks that 7-Eleven has a top seller for Slurpees? I didn't even know that we still had them. Well, according to my research, we still have 3 in the state of Louisiana. We don't have any in my home city, but they have 3 in the state of Louisiana. But if you want to take it a little further than that, they're still internationally known. So please don't get it twisted when you say Slurpees and 7-Eleven. Japan reportedly has over 20,900 7-Elevens. Thailand has over 11,000. South Korea has over 9,000. And even all the way down to Taiwan with over 5,000 7-Elevens. Now I need to find a 7-Eleven and a Slurpee, you know? All right, thanks, random research. The more you know. Yeah, maybe I just need to get out and travel more, you know? Oh, when outside reopens, let's see what the world brings. Now, you know, this week on the podcast, I really want you to check it out. It's available and it is streaming on all digital platforms. We're going to have a very special guest. Her name is Dr. J, the hearing doc, an audiologist. You've seen her in Forbes, you've seen her on television, and I really want to get the inside scoop. What encouraged you to walk in this purpose, to want a career as an audiologist? Like, was that something that was cool to you as a child? Was it a necessity? Was there someone who inspired you? And her Dear 2020? Oh, look, you can't afford to miss it. Be sure to check that out. Just key in the LaTangela Show podcast. Now, you know, as we move along with more of this random research, the Taste of Tange is being brought to you by Uric Alert. Now, with the Taste of Tange, I got to get real specific on the people that I choose to highlight and the things that we're talking about because, you know, sometimes we just don't like to play around with our taste buds. Well, this random research was definitely worth it. A new study found that humans are much better at remembering where high-calorie foods are stored than healthy foods. So chances are I can tell you where I stored that Snickers bar before I can tell you where I placed the walnuts. Okay, sue me. It is what it is. I'm not alone according to this random research. where researchers actually filled a room with 8 different foods, both healthy and unhealthy, and they had 500 volunteers. It's never hard to find somebody to volunteer when food is involved, right? Okay, so they walked around and they sampled each of the foods. Now, after they were done, each person had to draw a map of where all the foods were. And it turned out that they were more likely to remember where the junk food was located versus the healthier foods. So why did it happen that way? Questions that need answers. Well, thousands of years ago, they said that you were less likely to starve to death if you knew where to find high-calorie foods. Whoever came up with that little tidbit, they're stretching. We remembered where it was because it tasted better and because that's what we wanted. We wanted that, so we remembered where it was so we can find our way back. Period. They were reaching. So they're thinking that we were just programmed from ancient years to remember where high-calorie foods are. Boy, stop. Look, have you ever just left the house and your mind started racing with questions like, did I remember to do this? Did I forget to do that? Or am I the only one? Yeah? Okay. Well, just for those who may relate. Did I forget something? According to The Sun, the top worries after we leave the house includes what? Some of the stuff that just makes you panic. You're at the red light and all of a sudden it hits you like a ton of bricks. Making the top list, did I leave the door unlocked? Did I leave a window open? Did I leave something plugged in? See, that's me. Did I leave the iron on? Did I turn off the oven? Did I turn the burner on the stove off all the way? Not just turn it off, but did I turn it off all the way? Did I leave the sink on? Is my hair curler or straightener still on? Guilty. Did I leave something valuable sitting out? Because a burglar might see it through a window and break in. Did I leave that gate open? You know, usually for me is, did I forget my phone charger? Did I bring my powder? Did I bring a brush with me? You know what I mean? Like leaving the door unlocked, that's just top of the brain. Maybe it would help if you just posted the list on the front door and you treat it like a scavenger hunt. Especially if these are the things that just haunt you every time you leave the house. Yeah. Okay, well, what makes your list? You've ever just left the house and all of a sudden just had a panic like, did I forget? Did I? Hit me up on a Twitter alert at LaTangela Fay. And of course, all of my links are posted at latangela.com. I love it when you chime in all of your random research and even some of your requests for random research. It keeps me digging, and the more we know, the more we grow. Now, you know, they wanted to find out who were the most stressed out cities in every state. This list, it didn't go as in depth as I wanted it to, but it did give us a pretty good overview. So when they were talking about it, they said it's a tough competition to figure out who's really stressed out the most, especially in these turbulent times. The pandemic, it's going like crazy. Crime is going like crazy. So how do you narrow it down as of who's the most stressed out? A new study actually tried to figure out the most stressed out cities in every state, and they based the pick on 5 factors. The 5 factors included unemployment, average hours worked, commute times, because you know that traffic brings it to a whole nother level, income to home price ratio, and the percent of population that doesn't have insurance. Now, based on all of that, the most stressed out city in the country, they said was Mead Valley, California, which is located between Los Angeles and San Diego. But really the results are all over the place, with some huge cities like Chicago and Illinois, then you have Minneapolis and Minnesota, and some tiny cities like Vermillion, South Dakota also made the list, but they barely have a population of 10,000 people. Now, I expected to see a few other cities on the list. I just knew that New York would be on that list. I figured Texas would be somewhere in there, and I did expect to see Louisiana. But like I said, it didn't go as in depth for each state, but those are some that hit it the most and the hardest. Now, it's been a very busy political season, and some of you folks are making headline news for all the right reasons, and some of you folks are making the news for all the wrong reasons. Let's take a quick field trip on over to Iowa in Dickinson County to see what the Dickens is going on. According to Dickinson County News, keep in mind I do not have time to make this stuff up. I am not smart enough to make this stuff up. And if I read it, I gotta tell you, so don't be mad at me. Be mad at the news source, because all I did was read the story. That's it. I just read it out loud. Now, there was this guy who was busted for stealing newspapers out of stores. Wait, there's more. They reported he was stealing the newspapers because the newspaper reported him for doing another crime. He had been out and about stealing political yard signs. That's a big no-no. We don't want you doing that. We don't need you doing that. That is a no-no. Now, not everyone is built for high-stakes political cover-up, or even in his case, a super low-stakes one either. There's a 70-year-old guy by the name of Pete DeYager, and he is from Hull, Iowa. And back in August, he was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of theft and trespassing for stealing political yard signs. Get your people. Tell them to stop that, okay? The Dickens County News actually reported that he had a small blurb about crimes in the blotter on September 2nd. He didn't like that. Peter clearly didn't want people to read about what he'd done, so he felt shamed and didn't want his neighbors to know that he was in the criminal blog for committing crimes in the paper. So he walked around, started stealing the papers because he didn't want us to read about it. Now, after he got caught stealing the papers because the vending boxes were empty, some of the news racks in front of stores were empty, the people who owned these stores and these newsstands started playing the video surveillance cameras back. They said, hey, this is the same guy. Then they recognized who the guy was. And bloop, there you have it. He was arrested, and local businesses started reviewing their footage and they ratted him out. So thanks to his terrible attempt to cover up his first crime, now he's making national news. And all you can do is say, that's just well played, sir. Well played. You got to be more careful. Like, come on, man. See, this is the case. You just need better friends. Hey, look, for the next 4 people who slide in my DMs right now, wherever you are, if it's Facebook, if it's Twitter, if it's Instagram, it's at LaTangela Fay. I am not hard to find. The first 4 to slide into my DMs with hashtag TeaTimeWithTan, I want to gift you with a copy of my new book, Poof, Power Over Obstacles Forever. It is my 4th book. It is available right now on Amazon. It's also available on my website at latangela.com. But I want to gift this to the first 4 people who slide in my DMs. It goes down in the DMs with hashtag TeaTimeWithTan. I would love for you to check this out. Yeah? All right, make that happen and I got you covered. Available on Amazon and latangela.com. Now, you know, just when you thought you couldn't get any worse than the man out here stealing political signs and newspapers to cover up all of his crimes, let's take a quick field trip to Tennessee. I kind of want to do this story, but I kind of don't. I kind of feel sorry for the guy, but I kind of just hope he gets the help he needs. Now, I cannot make this up. I said that for the last one, but I really mean it for this one. According to ABC 6 out in Knoxville, Tennessee, there's this man who made headline news for trying to resurrect his grandma, and he caused $30,000 in damages to a cemetery. Yeah, I said there's a man in Knoxville, Tennessee, who caused $30,000 in damages to a cemetery for trying to resurrect his grandmother. Now, I can't tell if this is touching or just pure insanity, but either way, 34-year-old guy named Danny Frazier out in Knoxville, Tennessee, he was busted last week for almost $30,000 in damages to a cemetery, including breaking headstones and digging equipment. So why was he digging around at a cemetery? Questions that might need answers. I'm pretty sure the cops wanted to know about that. Danny said that his grandmother was buried there and he was trying to resurrect her. That is in his official statement. Also, according to ABC 6 Knoxville, he had been charged with vandalism and criminal trespassing. His mugshot showed that it's either he was high as a kite or he was having a really, really bad day. And we're not certain if it was his grandmother indeed that was buried at that cemetery while he was trying to get into the grave, or was this his first attempt? We don't know, but whew, that's a tough crowd. Tough crowd. Now, I had to find some good news. I needed to find something that was going to just pick me up just a tad, because that was not it. Now, not everything about distance learning has been so bad. They did a quick survey with the students asking, well, how is this virtual series going for you? A new survey of high school students found that the top things they like about distance learning is the flexibility and being able to work at their own pace. Now, 25% even said it's easier to focus with less distractions. I like that. And I got that this week while we were talking to the students of Terra High, Go Trojans, for High School Maximania. And thank you so much to Chloe and Halle for being our special guest. I'll give you snippets of that. And of course, you can always check it out and hear the students and Chloe and Halle's Dear 2020s. I really want you to check that out. Now, also making headline news for some feel-good stuff, kinda, sorta, maybe. A couple out in UK, they didn't want to just say, we're going to cancel our 250-person wedding. So they got creative and they decided to do a drive-in style ceremony so people could watch from their cars. That's sweet. Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to watch from Zoom, or I still watch from the gram, but I'm not pulling up. But congratulations to the newlyweds. Oh, here's something that was weird, but it felt good to be home, I guess. 25 people who live on Easter Island. Have you ever heard of Easter Island? Me either. So 25 people who lived on Easter Island, they finally got to go home this week. They'd all been stranded overseas for the last 6 months because of travel restrictions. Now, I'm not sure what all this on Easter Island. Sounds like a getaway of all getaways. Probably didn't have Wi-Fi, running water. You know, one of those things that you see on the travel network. You want to get away, get in touch with nature. That's what Easter Island sounds like to me. But yeah, welcome home. Now, here's something with rapid COVID testing. They say that it might get easier and it could get easier soon. Doctors at UCLA actually came up with a new test that only costs $10. And it's much easier to process according to their reports. They say you just spit in a tube, toss it in a machine, and get results back in about 24 hours. They say that just 10 lab technicians can process tens of thousands of tests every day. So I guess we'll be hearing more about that in the coming days. Yeah? Now, you remember this guy, we were talking about him. He's an older guy, about 88, and he wanted to walk the circumference of the earth. That's right, at 24,901 miles, right? Okay. Well, he started this journey mid-80s, and now in his mid-80s, he has finally completed the task. Said that he actually completed it last week, and he set a goal early in life, and he just wanted to walk it out. Now, I applaud him for that. I like it. I'm inspired. Did you get your steps in today? Right? But here's my question to you. If this man says he started walking in the mid-80s, and he's actually walked the circumference of the earth, who has the accurate records of that? We could be just as vulnerable or gullible and believe it because he said it. It sounds good. It sounds good. He very well may have started walking and have track records of it. Now, how do we know he accurately logged the miles from the 80s and kept up with that until he actually walked the circumference of the earth? Huh? Oh, okay. I mean, but did you get your steps in today? Sounds good to me. Hey, look, I'm not going to hold you much longer. I got some work to do, and I really want us to stay connected. We have a lot of things going on, and I want you to log on and be a part of the movement. If you would like to be on the show, if you would like to be on the podcast, if you have questions that need answers, if you would like to submit your Dear 2020, I would love to hear it. I would love to share it. And you know, all of the links are available at LaTangela.com. Now, before I bounce, I want to leave you with some of my music. Pieces of my musical journal, filling those blank pages, you know? And I hope you enjoy it half as much as I did while creating it for you. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Good night.
Second. Oh, wait a second. Now, when I say world-renowned and internationally known, listen, Tara, can you do me a favor and say hi to the one and the only Chloe and Halle? Can you say hello to these beautiful ladies for me?
Hey guys!
How y'all doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Look, so far so good. We came ready for the party, right? You know what? We were just talking about our Dear 2020, the feature of the show where we either say what 2020 has taught us or a letter of inspiration that we want to leave to others in the year 2020. So while we have you in the hot seat and on the hotline, I want you to participate with us with Dear 2020. It's been eventful, and you can't do it without the disco ball. So Dear 2020, what has it taught you, or what letter of inspiration would you like to leave for the year 2020?
Oh, wow.
What about you, sis?
I feel like, okay, so do I start with Dear 2020?
Of course.
You have taught me patience. I feel like this whole year has really been a wake-up call for a lot of us. But for me especially, I feel like I am a normally impatient person. I want things to go, go, go.
Right now.
And it's forced me to look at my blessings and to realize that what I have is what I need. And I'm so grateful for everything. And to just hold my loved ones close, my family close, the ones I love close, and to remember to be grateful for all of these blessings that are around you. So yes. I think patience was definitely the one for me. Ooh, for me?
It's 20. I love it, and I love you. Now that's some pressure to follow. Dear 2020, what you got?
Dear 2020, you have taught me that it's okay to put myself first. I have such a really, really big heart, and I'm a Cancer too, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm really sensitive, and like I always tend to put other people's feelings and emotions before mine. But this year taught me that if I'm not happy because I'm making others happy, then there's no point. I have to be happy myself. So I've been starting to put myself first and starting to do like self-care things, because it, like when you think about it, it's like, oh, it's not that important, but then like it is, because you have to be full before you give yourself to others. So that's what I've been learning. And I've learned that I love music even more.
Now, you know, Chloe and Halle, you mentioned a little bit about social media and how easy it is for people to be able to put their perspective about you out there, and it's just there. You know, here it is, Trinity, she's on campus. She's a freshman this year. How important is it that she doesn't allow the social media to weigh in on her mental?
Oh wow, girl, it is so important. Chloe and I, what we always do, we just block other people's opinions out, and we follow our hearts and we follow our passion, and we feel like we're really trying to do God's work and work towards our purpose and do what we're meant to do here on this earth. So anything that has to do with our passion and music, we just keep our heads up and go that way. Yeah. And all of the people who want to chit chat, let them chit chat, but don't pay no attention.
Yeah. So. And I'd also have to say too, it's okay to delete your social media off your phone from time to time. I know I have to do that.
What? It's okay to do what?
It's okay to delete your social media. Like, I'll just delete the apps, because I know if I just log out, I'll sign back in immediately. So I have to delete the apps to just get it out of my face, because I know that it kind of becomes, I don't know, routine to constantly check my phone and kind of check for outer validation, which that's not where we should get it from. It should be here. So it's okay to delete the apps sometimes. I usually go about a week at a time when I delete it, and so I'll make Halle post everything. But it's okay to do that too, because a lot of times the images you're being shown on social media are images that aren't true, aren't realistic at all. They're like 99% of them are photoshopped. A lot of people are only showing the best versions of themselves. So even for you guys, like, don't compare your lives to that. Like, it's okay to like step away from that and just kind of turn within and be like, okay, I'm doing the best I can. I got to keep going. I shouldn't compare my life to others. So that's what I'd have to say. I have to do it still too, because I be getting in my head and I overthink a lot. So
y'all better play rock, paper, scissors or something, but I need you to come up with something.
So what is
I'm 5, you're 4.
Okay.
We'll do the best 2 out of 3.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Rock, paper. Because if I'm not good at rock, paper, scissors, barely.
Luck of the draw.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn.
No, we have
Okay.
We got one more.
Shoot. Okay.
Okay,
last one.
Okay, it's the time.
Shoot.
Damn. So 5.
5. Okay, who is 5?
Who's 5?
Taiwan. Rag baby. That's Rag baby.
Oh! Yeah.
That's Mr. Starbucks for my girl. Love it, and we love you, and thank you so much for supporting the movement and whatever you got going on, and don't you dare let them ever dim your light. You hear me?
We hear you. Thank you.
All right, I'll see y'all later, my loves.
Bye.
Thank you so much, High School Maximania. We'll mail your prizes out to you. We love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Goes going over all little stuff, sometimes with no kind of help. Digging through the soul to the core, knowing there's so much more than the block posted right in front of you. Got me praying, asking God, now what we gon' do? People stressing me, got the devil out here just vexing me. I'm trying to rep the yo, tell them let me be. Barriers, I'm breaking barriers. While I'm singing and rhyming and rapping and humming like they never seen it coming. Skipping to the beat of my own drumming, yo, they can't tell me nothing. Positive vibes only, or I'd rather sit here lonely. Shout out to the ones who